because in fact it do be like that. I am making a mask for Gothmas. Hello, it's Icy. Yes, here I am at my sewing machine once again with another Gothmas craft. Is this one strictly Gothmas? No, you could do whatever you wanted. However, I don't actually have a handmade mask that fits me well. I have made a couple earlier on last year, but did not find that any of them were more comfortable than a disposable. So what I've decided to do is actually take a disposable mask, this one, fetchingly with Garfield on it, and turn it, basically use it as a pattern to make a non-disposable one. So first I'm going to disassemble it. I am going to use these elastics, I think, because these ones are actually more comfortable around the ears than your standard elastic that you can buy. So I'm just going to pull these off. A little bit of super glue. If your normal disposable mask, the things, the ear bands rip off, a little drop of super glue will stick them back on again if that's the case. And then I'm just going to open this up very carefully and work out what size it is, pretty much. This particular mask has not been used because Garfield was given to us by a friend early on, with the thought that Master Icy might enjoy wearing it, and he looked at it and went, no thank you. So it's been sitting there for a long time. So time to actually put it to good use. Okay, so there we go. We've got we have slightly less than a square. I mean, if I fold that diagonally, whoop, roughly, yeah. So just off. I mean, look, to be honest, once you factor in the hems at the top and the bottom, it'll be pretty much a square anyway. So I will just cut a square that size pretty much. Now, the reason I'm also sacrificing this particular mask is it actually has a really, really long nose wire, which is, okay, let's chop that out. Where are my scissors? Now, look, if this one works out, what I'll do is I'll probably make a second one anyway, but I'm just going to make one to start with. Also, I don't think any of the other disposable masks we have nose wires that are this long. There we go. So, yeah, that's like long enough to go across your whole face and then across your cheeks as well. So that's actually pretty good in the scheme of things. So I will use that one. So let me just put that over there where it won't get lost, and my 2 ear elastics. And then let's work with this. So here is the torn apart disposable mask, and I have 2 layers. One is this is actually a piece of calico, oddly enough already the right size, just about. Would I recommend the calico? No, I wouldn't. Your best bet for the middle or the inner layer really of these kind of masks is in fact, I'm just going to trim that down to about there, is in fact a very high thread count material. And the best, easiest, cheapest way to get hold of high thread count material is in fact to buy or find a second-hand fancy pillowcase. A high thread count pillowcase, say 500 count, something like that, is perfect for making the inner layer, or for that matter, the outer layer of masks. So if you can't get access to fabric, then I would actually recommend that. I do actually have some 500 thread count material that pillowcase that I bought specifically for this purpose. Can I find it? No, I cannot. Also, I appear to have torn this one slightly too narrow. I need to have made that wider. What's this way like? Okay, no, that's fine. We'll do it this way. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is going to be very, very simple actually. So the idea is I'm just going to have this as an inner layer. I'm going to fold and sew down over top of this layer all the way around. That's the first step. And then once I've done that around all of the layers, so catching the inner layer and then just making a square, and then after I've done that I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the folds. So but first step is to take these around and make it all neat, and I'm also going to set the wire in the top section as well. Through the magic of editing, well, the magic of video, I've actually made a second one because it turned out my sewing machine needle was blunt and it was pushing through the white fabric onto the other side. So we have a nose piece sewn into the top, and we have the second layer neatly caught in underneath the red one. So here is the disposable mask. So what I'm going to do is pretty much just realize I've made it far too small, and we're just going to try and wing it anyway, because this is not going well today. I cannot tell you how many times I've started projects today and things just have not happened. So anyway, what we're going to do is just add some folds. So we're going to be on the back, we're going to be folding up, because when we turn it around, what that means is it will fold down the face. But so on the back we need to fold up. So the idea is I'll just fold this back up, and then I will simply add enough folds in here. I'll probably add, there are 3 in here. I'll see if I can get away with 2. But yeah, I'll just add the folds in to take this volume back down to this volume. Do you need to put in pleats? No, you could actually just put one option instead, if you wanted to make a really quick one, is you could just fold this over like this, and again, very small, and then just run an elastic all the way through in a loop and just have that gather instead. That would be a perfectly reasonable way to make a mask as well. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to deliberately put the folds in. Let's see if this works. Oh my goodness. Today is not a day I should have been sewing. However, it's the day that I had allocated, really. So, little red mask, finished. Is it okay? Yeah, it's fine. It's not great. It's acceptable. Am I going to remake it? Almost definitely. Almost definitely. But it's not the worst mask. So, a couple of things. Yes, it's 100% not long enough. It does go under my chin, but not as far back as it really should to have a super good seal. It's okay. It's like, I guess, half as far back as a normal mask would go. Understandable, because it's not quite, doesn't have quite as much length. I didn't end up using the ear straps. I ripped off the mask because I really should have sewn those in when I folded over the side hems and did those. So instead I grabbed some hat elastic, which is very thin, and did a double layer and slid it through. The plan is, what I'll do is, once I'm satisfied with the length, I'll just hide the knot inside the actual stitching, and then I might even stitch it down. What I did discover is, yeah, adding a little bit of gather at this bottom section here, just by pulling on the elastic, actually makes the mask sit a bit better. If I pop it on, I'm speaking louder because this whole video I forgot to plug in my fancy external mic. Minor mention, probably shouldn't have been sewing today, but anyway, what I found, this is fine. This is, you can see it goes okay underneath. It doesn't quite go far enough back. With a little bit of gather here, this is making an okay seal across the bottom of my chin. It's actually nicely sealed across the sides, which the paper masks have a problem with for me, where this seal does not work well. Usually what I do with the paper masks, I actually turn this top corner over so that it doesn't fog up my glasses, and I can't do that with this one because this wire is really long, so both good and bad. So that's something I would change for another one. And ultimately this mask has the same problem that all of my other handmade masks have had, and I've done three different designs now, is that they push on the top of my nose and make them terribly uncomfortable to wear. This one, I think the problem with that is it just doesn't have enough vertical space because I didn't cut it, measure it correctly, account for the amount of material I was folding over. I just half-assed it and did a bad job, basically. So that's on me. However, I will wear this today when I need to go out later because all of my other nice, i.e. black, disposable masks have had it now. So I do actually need to either wear a, blue disposable, which I'll do because that's fine. I'm not that picky. Or if I want things to look goth, I will need to wear a homemade one. So I will probably wear this one later and see how it goes. So in general, it looks good. It looks fine. It could be comfortable if I had made it properly. But anyway, that's another Gothmas make out of the way. It's not super goth, it's a little bit goth. It's everyday goth rather than just Gothmas, but I'm just going to include it anyway. If you want to know more about Gothmas, do check the other videos in the playlist. There are a few, which is good. So that's all coming together. If you want to know more about me, do subscribe to my channel. Please do follow me here and on my other YouTube channels, and also over on twitch.tv/ICYIC, where I stream various games 4 days a week, and I would love to see you there. Thank you very much for watching, and always, if you're doing something with Gothmas, let me know. I would like to see. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time.